Well, hello everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. You're having a great summer. You're getting some saddle time in on your motorcycle and enjoying yourselves. Just want to do a little motorcycle talk here about what is the perfect motorcycle. Now, what I'm going to talk about is just going to be based on my opinion and experiences. This is just my opinion on the perfect motorcycle. I think I have a very strong opinion on what is a perfect motorcycle because of my past experience and as many motorcycles as I've owned. I've owned a lot of motorcycles. I ain't kept track, but the past 5 years I've bought somewhere around 18 motorcycles, 5 of them brand new. I've owned everything as far as Harley Touring to Harley Softails. I've had the KLR, I've had DRs, I've had V-Stroms, I've had Suzuki Touring, I've had Yamaha Touring, I've had Kawasaki Touring. I've had about all of the range or different style bikes except for sport bikes. It'd be wrong for me to throw my opinion out there on sport bikes. I have not owned one. I have did touring, some adventure riding, local riding, and a little bit of diverse riding all across the board as far as motorcycles, except for a sport bike. Have I ever found a motorcycle I really enjoyed that I thought was a perfect fit? Yes. Stick with me to the end of this video and I'll tell you what bike I enjoyed the most. Well, I started riding a street bike when I was 16, and that's when I obtained my motorcycle license at 16. My first motorcycle was a Suzuki 550. I think it was called a GL or GS 550. It was that 4-cylinder carbureted 550 motorcycle that was as common as dandelions. Everybody had one and they were inexpensive. That's what I started out on one. Well, I rode that bike for a few years and really got my feet wet and fell in love with the motorcycle riding and adventuring and touring and riding on a motorcycle. Well, after that I kind of took a break because of going to school and trade and getting an education and everything. But getting married and having kids and everything, I wanted to get back into riding. So back to that GS 550 I had several of them throughout the years after I was 16. But my first big, my first really big purchase of getting back into motorcycling was rolling up on the 2003 when Harley Davidson come out with the anniversary bike. I knew I wanted the Heritage Softail 2003 anniversary bike. In my mind's eye, that was the holy grail of motorcycle. That's the only motorcycle I could see myself on. I did my research, watched videos. I knew that anniversary, the black and silver, with the hologram anniversary emblems, was the bike I wanted. Well, in 2003, to get a new one, you had to get on a list or have very close relationships with your local Harley Davidson dealer to get one. I had my name on every list to get that bike all over Ohio. Everywhere from Columbus, Cincinnati, all the way to Toledo. I wanted that anniversary bike. Well, I never got one. But by coincidence, a gentleman I worked with had a family member who got one. It was a brand new 03 black and silver Heritage Softail anniversary. The day he took delivery of the bike, he found out he got accepted into the fire academy. So the motorcycle was for sale. I found out about the bike I purchased the bike. It had 9 miles on it. To me, it was a brand new bike. It worked out. I got the bike of my dreams. It was the perfect bike. Or was it? In my mind's eye, and my thoughts, and my wants, that was the perfect bike. And it was. But it was the perfect bike at the wrong time in my life. I had young kids. I can't remember, they were young. One was, I can't remember their exact ages. I'm bad at math. But they were young. And when I got the bike of my dreams, man, I got it in the wintertime. So it sat in my garage for several months. And I was buying different, clothing, accessories. Everything I had the anniversary on it. The anniversary shirts, jackets. I had everything. Even the horn, I had all the accessories I added to the bike over the winter. Man, I couldn't wait for warm weather to come to get out on an anniversary bike and enjoy myself. Well, warm weather come rolling around. It was time to ride. I hopped on that right bike that was in my life at the wrong time. I pulled out of my driveway. I looked over my right shoulder, and there my small children sit on the porch. Man, you talk about taking the wind out of your sail or sinking your ship. Was there anything wrong with me getting out on that bike and riding? No. But I guess I'm old-fashioned and just a family man. I really, after seeing that one incident, changed that bike for me. I had the bike for a while after that, and I put it up and really just didn't ride it. I can't remember the time frame I owned the bike, but it was a little while. And when I sold the bike, it had 94 miles on it. 94 miles. Well, my kids were young. I took a break and I did the Jeep thing. When I sold that bike, I went and bought a new 2003 Jeep Wrangler. Took the top and doors off of it. That's what I did. Well, I was out riding up to about 5 years ago after that incident. Well, I was kind of messing around and wanted a bike. So I bought a near new Yamaha V-Star 650. And I rode it for a little while and I enjoyed it, but it was a small bike. And I wore a full face helmet, and I'm a bigger guy, 250. Family says when they see me pulling a driveway with that big helmet on, it looked like Kazoo stole a motorcycle. And I was big for it. And on the highway, I couldn't get that bike up past 65 because of the wind shear. It just didn't have enough power. But I rode it for a while, I had fun. Got rid of that bike, got a DR650, rode it for a few months, wound up with a KLR 650, rode it for a little while, and on and on and on. And I knew that riding was back in my life again, and I wanted to step up to a bigger bike. And if you'll watch some of my past videos, I think this is about the time I started my YouTube channel and started recording. I bought that leftover 2016 Kawasaki Versys 1000. I think I bought it in 20 or 21. It was a 2016, but it was brand new off the showroom floor. Man, when I got into that big bike, oh, that was a game changer. I knew then that I wanted to ride long distance. So I bought that bike, rode it. I'm not going to go on and on about all the bikes I've had. But I bought that bike, rode it, sold it, bought another Heritage Softail, got rid of that. I bought a new Versys 1000 SELT, the 19. I bought two brand new 22 Versys 1000s, but there's a story behind that. They wasn't in my life long. I bought a new Harley, a 22. I bought a new 2022 Harley Street Glide. I can't remember the years. I've bought so many bikes here recently, I've lost track. One year I bought 6 ST1300s within a 10-month period. I bought this V-Star. So on and on and on. I've owned about every bike out there except for a BMW or a sport bike. So I'm going to give you my opinion of the bikes I've owned and the versatile background, or being versatile on all the bikes I've owned. And I've ridden all of them. I've took them all on trips. And like I said, I forgot, I even went and bought the DL1000 V-Strom. I've had a 650 V-Strom. Like I said, I've owned so many bikes, I can't keep track of all of them. Even in that wreck, I bought that wrecked Kawasaki Vulcan S at 2022 that I repaired. So, you've stuck with me this far. What is the perfect motorcycle? Is it a sport bike? Is it a cruiser? Is it a touring bike? Is it a sport touring? Is it an adventure bike? In my opinion, the perfect motorcycle is the one that makes you happy. If it makes you happy, it's the right bike. Owning the right bike at the right time in your life is the secret. I could take a person that isn't ready physically and mentally to do some riding or touring. I'm not talking about just riding down your local bike night or just getting your bike out, maybe putting 100 or 200 miles a year on it. I'm talking about actually getting out, doing some riding, some touring, and doing kind of average what most people would do. When I say you're a rider, I don't mean you got to travel across country or anything like that. Just getting out, enjoying the bike, and getting a little seat time in. I could put a rider on the most expensive CVO Harley Davidson with every option out there. Would it make him happy? Maybe. If everything's right in his life and he's got his mind right, and he's at that state of mind to where he can enjoy that bike, relax, and not let the troubles of life destroy that ride for you or those trips, that is the right bike. Or if you put somebody on that same CVO or that BMW touring bike or that GS 1250 that's at a point in their life to where they have other distractions that means more than riding that motorcycle, then no, none of those bikes will fit for that person. Absolutely not. They won't enjoy them. So we all have to live life. We all have troubles and trials and dealing with life and home, maintenance, cars, auto, inflation, everything that we all, us average Americans, deal with, we have to. But it's finding the balance to make the best use of your time, to free your mind, your soul, your spirit, to give yourself the opportunity and ability to set things free, your emotions, to get on any bike that you enjoy and ride, to experience that ride. I'm a nobody. I'm just giving you my opinion. I've had brand new motorcycles that I just didn't enjoy. Was there anything wrong with the motorcycles at the time? No. It was me. I was not in the right state of mind or not the right time in my life to enjoy those bikes. So, one of my favorite bikes that I've owned, and I have to say, I enjoyed that little bike. I still can't put my finger on it why I enjoyed it so much. There's a video, me and my son went over to Indiana and I bought a 22 Kawasaki Vulcan S that was wrecked. I repaired it. That 650, that was the Ninja 650 motor. I never really took the bike out on a road trip, but I rode it on the highway. I rode that bike all over. I put thousands of miles on that bike in a couple months. I took it down to Tennessee. I rode it over Newfound Gap and with ice on the road. I enjoyed that bike. I could whip that bike, throw it around. And that 650, it was light, but that 650 motor power to weight ratio was second to none. That little thing was a mean buzzing 2-cylinder bike. I think it had as much power as this V-Star 1300. I rode that bike to death. I don't know, I only had like $1,600 in a bike. It wasn't the fact that I enjoyed it so much because I didn't have nothing in it. It was just, at the time, going from winter to spring, it fit me correctly. It fit my schedule, it fit my time, and what I had going on. I felt that I had no obligation to get on that bike to ride it. You know, just because you have an expensive bike, does that mean you gotta get out and ride it? No. I'm just telling you from my perspective on a motorcycle. I felt if I have a real expensive motorcycle that I'm not gonna let it sit. I went out and purchased that expensive motorcycle, so I'm gonna use it. And again, this is not in no way at all as any reflection towards somebody not riding their bike. This is me. If I own it and I'm paying insurance on it, maintenance, upkeep, if I'm physically able, I'm going to ride it. If not, I'll sell it and let somebody else enjoy it. But that little 650, I had more fun out of that Kawasaki Vulcan S than I've probably had out of any bike I've ever owned. And back again, why am I saying that? It was not the best bike. It was a bike that fit me at that time in my life. This spring, I was coming down sick this spring. I had some medical stuff going on. And I really didn't feel like, messing with a big bike. I didn't have that lot of strength. And that little light bike just fit me. And it gave me the pleasure that I needed. It gave me wind therapy. It was the tool that did the job. Let's call it like that. It was the right tool for the right job at the time. And from that time, I filmed that video where I went to Cades Cove back in May, the spring ride down in Tennessee. From there on downhill, I was, having medical problems and not feeling good, and I went through a couple different bikes, but that bike I always had it around to have fun with. So, what is the right bike? It's the bike that fits you, makes you happy, and it's the right bike at the right time of life. If you can enjoy it, relax, and get to that mental state of wind therapy, you have the right bike. Now, my bikes serve multiple purposes. I have bad times. I've had times that things wasn't going good. I had a lot of problems going on, this, and that. My bike was my therapy. Temporary therapy at the time. I got on my bike. It was temporary relief. Like I said in that video where I was on the Foothills Parkway. Thank God I'm there. I'm riding. I'm going to do what's called a hard drive reset. I'm going to lay my troubles to the side. I'm going to lay my problems aside while I take this motorcycle trip. And when I get home, my problems will jump back on my back and I'll deal with them then. I had made that decision in my life that I'm leaving my troubles at home. That I'm going to go enjoy myself and leave them at home. Not all my problems in my life I could do that. Sometimes I took them with me. When I've took my problems with me and couldn't lay them to the side, I've been on motorcycle trips, but I didn't enjoy myself. I could not get into the zone. And I don't need to explain what the zone is. You know what it is. If you ride, you know what it means to get to that point to where you're in the zone. You're relaxed. You're enjoying yourself. You get your wind therapy. You feel the rhythm of the road, the hum of the bike. I can't pronounce it right. Harmony, the perfect harmony of the bike, the road, the ride. Man, it's a beautiful thing. But, you know, you got to be able to lay your troubles aside or deal with them. And sometimes I'm not good at juggling. I got to pick and choose my battles. So when I schedule my trips, I try to have all my ducks in a row, my problems taken care of. And I try to pull out of the driveway with a undistracted mind. But, you know, no matter how I do it, I still worry. You know, my grandkids is always on my mind. Kyle, the things that's most important in your life. The little stuff, throw to the side, not worry about it. Oh, we got a motorcycle up here for sale. What do we have? That is I don't know what it is. Some kind of motorcycle for sale. Yeah, so you stuck with me at the end of the video. I'm just rambling on. The perfect motorcycle is a motorcycle that's right for you at the right time of your life to where you can enjoy it. Simple as that. I had more fun out of a $1,600 motorcycle than I had out of a $27,000 Harley. What else more can I say? Would I tour it on that $1,600 motorcycle? Hell no. But it was the right tool for the job at the time. It did the job. Well, everyone, that's enough rant from Ohio Back Roads. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and happy riding season. I hope everybody went out to Sturgis, has good weather, a good time. Enjoy yourself, be safe. Keep the bike on the road, out of the ditch. Watch out for the wildlife and the deer. Enjoy yourself. And like I said, I hope somebody got something out of this video. This is just my rant on the perfect motorcycle.